Now we're going to try to find the missing angle in each diagram. In A, you have a right angle, so we know that it adds up to 90 degrees. Then you have X and 57 degrees. You add the two of them together and they should equal 90 degrees. So X plus 57 equals 90 would be your equation. Now we need to solve for the X. You need to undo the plus 57 by subtracting 57 from both sides. That cancels out the plus 57 and leaves you with just X. Then subtract 90 minus 57 since you have different signs and need to subtract. $90 was the bigger number, so it stays positive, and X equals 33 degrees. Don't forget your degree sign. B, you have a straight line, so you know it's going to equal 180 degrees. You have X and 43, so add them together. X plus 43 equals 180 degrees. You need to get rid of the plus 43 by subtracting 43 from both sides. That cancels out the plus 43 and leaves you with X. Then you have a positive 180 and a negative 43. They're different signs, so you subtract. Don't forget your degree sign, and your answer is 137 degrees. In part C, you need to find an X angle, a Y angle, and a Z angle. You should notice that the X is actually a right angle, so we know that X is 90 degrees. You will also notice that the 41 degrees and the Y make a right angle, so 41 plus Y would add up to 90 degrees. If you get rid of the plus 41 by subtracting 41 from both sides, you will see that Y equals 49 degrees. And now for Z. You will see that the 22, the Z, and the 26 all add up to 90 degrees. So, if we combine like terms, these two constants, and we have a plus 22 and a plus 26, we will get Z plus 48 equals 90 degrees. Now we can get rid of the 48 by subtracting 48 from both sides. That leaves us with Z. We have a positive and a negative, so we subtract. 90 minus 48 is 42 degrees. So Z is 42 degrees. Now let's write an equation to solve for X, then we're going to solve, and then we'll determine the measures of the angles. First, let's write an equation. We see that this line is a straight line, so it's going to equal 180 degrees. And we know that 7x plus 2x will equal that. So we'll write 7x plus 2x. Now let's solve. 7x plus 2x is 9x. We bring down our equals 180 degrees. To get rid of the 9 that's being multiplied times the x, we need to divide by 9. That will cancel out the 9's and leave x equals 20 degrees. Now go back and find out what the angle measures are. The first one was 7x, or 7 times x. If x is 20, then 7 times 20 is 140 degrees. Then we have 2x, or 2 times x, which is 2 times 20, and that is 40 degrees. You can double check your answer to make sure they add up to 180 degrees. 140 plus 40 does equal 180 degrees, so those angle measures are correct. In part B, we can see that we have a right angle here, and that it will equal 90 degrees. Our two angle measures are x plus 25 and 2x plus 5. So we're going to write x plus 25 plus 2x plus 5 will equal 90 degrees. Now it's time to solve. You can combine like terms. We have a 1x and a positive 2x, which will be 3x. Then we have a positive 25 and a positive 5, and that's a positive 30. Then bring down equals 90. Let's get rid of the plus 30 by subtracting 30 from both sides. That leaves us with 3x equals 60. To get rid of the 3, you divide by 3 on both sides. That gets rid of the 3, and we have x equals 20. Since x equals 20 degrees, we can now go plug that in to the angle measures, where we have x plus 25, or 20 plus 25 would be 45 degrees. And then 2x plus 5, 2 times 20 is 40, plus 5 is 45 degrees. Double check that they add up to 90 degrees, and 45 and 45 do, so these measures are correct. Now let's look at C. Here you have two lines that intersect, and the angles we're looking at make V's, and they are opposite of each other, which means they are vertical angles and they are equal to each other. That means that 4x minus 60 is going to be equal to x plus 75. So now we need to get the x, or the variable, on the left side. So we're going to subtract 1x from both sides. That leaves us with 3x minus 60 equals 75. Now we need the constants over on the right, so we're going to get rid of the negative 60 by adding 60 to both sides. That leaves us with 3x equals, and then we have 75 plus 60, which is 135. Now to get rid of the 3, we divide by 3 on both sides, and x is going to equal 45. Now that we know the angle measure for x, we need to plug it back into 4x minus 60. So 4 times 45 is 180. Then 180 minus 60 is 120. That means this angle measure is 120 degrees. Then plug the x in for x plus 75. So 45 plus 75 is 120 degrees. Because they're vertical angles, they should equal, and 120 degrees does equal 120 degrees, so those measures were correct.